Good morning. Today is Thursday instead of Wednesday, but I'm here. I hope somebody finds me today since I'm not on my regular day, but I just want to catch up a little. So it may just be me today.
So it may just be me today.
I always do that, don't I? That's good. I hope everybody's doing good. What's the temperature where you're at? We are 56 and we're supposed to be up to 72. I'll mention that later for those who come in. So I'll just do a little bit of work while I'm waiting. Just a little bit. Today is going to be a really nice day. I am going to play in the beehive today again, and I'll tell you all about it soon. So here's what I'm doing. While I'm waiting, I'll show you anybody on replay. This is going to go in my bathroom that we're remodeling. I just thought I needed a little something new. And a company actually sent this to me for review, and I unboxed it, and now I'm working it so that I can show everyone how pretty it's going to look when it's done. So yeah, I like it. But it's really small cross stitch. You can see that. A lot of flowers. So this just may end up being a chat about cross stitch today. Although I'd love to have some of these spring flowers. And there's all of my threads that I'm using. So it's really easy. And hey, Elise, how are you? I'm just sitting here talking to myself, and I thought I would do a little cross stitch while I was waiting. How's it going? Are you working today? I'm at lunch with Aunt Janice and my mom. Oh, how nice. Tell them hello for me. I haven't seen them in a while. When this summer, y'all have to come out and bring the families and see all the little ones. I still do that. I still do that. Um, I did. I did take a cow to the auction yesterday, although my intention was taking two. Yes, that'll be fun. My intention was taking two, but sometimes I think as dumb as those cows are, they're pretty smart too. Pretty smart. So I only ended up taking one, and now I've got to figure out next week how to get the other one up there. So we think we got it worked out. Now we have to play the little games in order to trick him into the trailer. Because if they don't want to go in there, you can't push a 500-pound, 600-pound cow in a trailer just because you want him there. So, yes, but I hope you guys enjoy your lunch. Where are you having lunch? I haven't been, well, I've been to breakfast. Kathy and I went to breakfast last week, but I haven't actually been to lunch anywhere in a long time, especially up in Augusta. One of my favorite places, if I was to choose where I would go, it would be Olive Garden. But of course, with the Masters about to hit town, it wouldn't be a good place to go. For those who don't know about the Masters, uh, when they come into town, if you don't have anything to do with the Masters, you go out of town or you stay out of town, right? You're at Aunt Janice's. Oh, okay. Do you have any Moran hens for sale? Um, I would have said I had one this morning, but I found one that the dogs was playing with, so she's not available any longer. But I think um, I have put my last three Moran hens in with roosters so I could get some more chicks. I have chicks available, but no hens right now. Um, Mainly because I've sold all of my extra stock in hens, and if I get rid of these three hens, then I won't have any chicks for later. So chicks is all I have right now. And some of them are, I'm sure I have a couple that are maybe 4 weeks old. So they're not babies, even though I had some babies hatch yesterday. Yes. It's been it's been a struggle to raise the hens, good quality hens, and then, you know, most people don't understand what it takes to raise them for 24 to plus weeks to get them to lay, and you do because you've done it, but it's a struggle, and then to get actually get the money you have invested in them is really difficult. I found that out last year, and some who really only wanted hens and didn't even want to raise them kind of cherry picked all of my good ones off, and so this is what I ended up having to do this year in order to restock. So yeah, but I do love the Moran hens, and yes, the ones the dog played with this morning, unfortunately they played a little too rough with her. They didn't eat her or bite her, they were just playing with her. So, needless to say, I'm minus one. And she was one of the ones that had been running free and roosting in the trees. The night before, something got one of my ducks, one of my favorite little white ducks. She's my favorite. Hey, Chuck, good morning. Or, yeah, afternoon. We are just over noon now. So we are in PM. So, yeah, but it was a cold morning here. I don't know how it was in Mississippi, but uh, we were down to 31 degrees. So hopefully it's going to be better. I'm counting on it today because I have to go into my bees and make a bee split. Um, so I really do need, I need it to be at least 70 degrees today. So that's what I'm hoping for. And I mean, right now it's 56 and sunny, so we're getting there. It'll be this afternoon, like 3 o'clock, before I can do it. Hey, Teresa. Good morning. How are you? Uh, Elise says my aunt Janice will get in touch with you later about that. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Does she have bees, Elise, your aunt? Seems like I remember someone in your family having bees. Now that I think about it. Um, so Teresa, do you have bees also? I never thought to ask. You have so many beautiful plants in your garden, and I never thought to ask, do you have bees that help populate and propagate all of your beautiful plants? Um, Above ground and doing well. Thank you. You are. Yeah. Although yesterday was kind of cold, I was worried about my knees. They were starting to stove up a little bit. Chuck says it was nice here. Think it's think it's to get in the 30s for the next few days. 30s? Really? Whoa, that's kind of cold. Good morning, David. Good afternoon, David. Yeah. Um, Oh, Teresa says she doesn't have bees yet, but she would love to. I wish, Teresa, I would have done it 7 years ago when we bought this property. I really wished I had have could because I really enjoy it. Good morning, Brenda, or good afternoon, Brenda. So nice to see you. We were just talking about you on Kathy's channel last night, that we had not seen you um in a little bit. How are you doing, and how's the weather up where you're at? I can't believe I can't believe how everything is so pretty. I have dogwoods right in my front yard, and they are so pretty right now. I'm just really pleased with the dogwoods. One of my favorite flowering tree anyway. Even though it's fruitless, it is beautiful. So yeah, but um, I guess I can quit sewing now that I got somebody to talk to. I was trying, for those who didn't see what I was doing, I am doing this for my new bathroom. So it's a cross stitch that I was asked by a company to do a review on, and so I'm actually working it to do the review. So it's nice that when I get done with it, then I can use it. I don't have to send it back. Yes, love the dogwoods. I always had a pink one also, but out here on the farm we only have white. I don't know why. Um, Teresa will know what the name of this tree is. It's really pink, kind of a pinkish purple, and it blooms first. And I can't remember what it's called now. It's beautiful. But it's one of the first ones you see out in the forest along, anywhere. It's the first, that and the dogwoods, but it blooms so pretty. And for some reason, it escapes me what it's called. But I heard yesterday somebody say that they made jelly out of this blossom, and I I don't know. Redbud, yes, that was it. Do you make jelly out of redbud? Is it something like the honeysuckle where you can make jelly? Sounds good. Duncan says, I got through cleaning up all my ducks. A mink got in the barn and killed. Oh no, it killed them all. I have never seen a mink, but we had a coyote that showed up on our trail cam last night. He was within 200 feet of the old barn where all the baby goats was at. Oh, I'm so sorry, Brenda. That is awful. But when the mink does that, now he just leaves the carcasses. He doesn't really take any. Oh, Duncan said red buds are edible. Okay, that's something to think about, because they are beautiful trees, just beautiful. And I always wondered what they were because they always were first. And then your dogwoods, are right on the tail. But my dogwood is in the yard, and at least I get to enjoy it, and it's really large. D Brenda says they will take them and eat them. Oh, they will. So they just took what they could carry with them, and they didn't come back for any more. If you left them, they probably would have. The night before, we noticed some white feathers at the back of our little horse barn. We built that for our little mini horses when we had those a few years back, and there's a big clump of beautiful white down feathers, and I thought, "Oh no, not my little white duck." She was the most gentle duck. And then we looked on the other side of the house, which is a cemetery, and there in the middle of the cemetery is all of the white feathers all around, so we know that's where he took her. So we did lose her, but she was the best little mama, and I know it's one duck, and we've lost some before, and then I lost a chicken this morning. But that was because the dogs were playing with it, because they're ornery. They just wanted something to play with. I'm thinking about putting a tetherball up in their pen, um, and see if they'll play with the tetherball. My sister has a dog that plays with the tetherball all day long, so I'm thinking maybe I'll try that. But knowing our dogs, they'll figure out how to get the ball off and eat it. Maybe. Uh, let's see. It's still hiding in the barn. I set a trap hoping it goes in it. Oh, yeah. They're not very big, are they, minks? Are they kinda like what are those, ferrets? Do they kinda remind you of the ferrets that people actually have in their homes, which I never figured that out because they do have kind of an odor, kind of. Um, let's see. Yeah, yes, if you can catch them before they flower out, you can pickle the flower buds like capers. Really? Oh, definitely. We'll definitely have to look at that. Well, after if I can get my house finished and get my kitchen back together by the end of summer, I hope, so we can get back in the house. Um, Going up and down this camper steps is killing our knees. Awful on the knees. You don't think about it when you're camping. You only camp 2 or 3 days, right? Uh, I know several of you have camped before, and some have actually probably lived in the camper before at one time or another, trying in between. Uh, Duncan said, "This one is bigger. I saw it just for a second." Really? Oh my gosh. Will they attack you? We got to do some research on these things. I've never seen one in the area we are. We did see a bobcat on our trail cam a couple of years ago, just traveling through. And, of course, we have all the others, coyotes, and there's wolves out there, and there's possum. I don't worry about the possum near as much as I do the raccoons. Um, but and of course the wild dogs are even worse than all of them, I think. Just recently done a video on harvesting and making red bud jelly. How did I miss that? Maybe that's where I was searching through your playlist last night and I saw it. It was late. Um, I was trying to catch up on your last live. Um, Duncan says if we don't kill it, it will go after my chickens. Wow. Will they attack you too? Will they go after you, or are they scared of humans? I don't sorry, I'm asking all these questions. I've just never been around a mink before. Never even thought about it. Huh. I'm sitting a little too far away. I can't read my screen. The geese were in the barn with the ducks and it didn't go after the geese. Oh yeah, because the geese can be really vicious. I had two Sebastopol geese and I raised them from chicks mostly and very protective of each other. And if someone drove up, they honked and let everybody know. They did chase my granddaughter, and that was the only thing she was glad to see that actually left the farm. and I had a couple around the corner that wanted them for protection for their horses, and so they took them. But they were beautiful. They're called wedding dress geese. They're really beautiful. Any animal will fight you if you back it into a corner. Yeah, I understand that. Yeah. Um, and do they get rabies also, just like the raccoons? We had a rabid raccoon a couple of years ago, and I mean, it was a baby, but it was small, but yeah. Razor sharp teeth. Oh my gosh. We all need to do a little research on. I gotta move my table. I'm too far away. I can't read my chat here. Um, I don't know why. So yeah, but if you could have seen us, for those of you who have cows, I know these cows are driving me nuts. Um, but we had two more we wanted to take to the sale barn, and wouldn't you know it, nobody wants to get in the trailer. Any other time they just walk right in. And one of them jumps the fence and goes to my daughter's house, and he's like, "Oh, we lost that one. We're not gonna be able to get that one because time we get it back over." We had a time constraint. We had to get them up to the sale barn, which was 30 miles away. But when you're pulling a trailer, it's 45 minutes at least, to get them there. So we were really trying to get them in this trailer. Well, so I take my grandson to school, and they were trying to get the other bull in, and he's the most beautiful one. He's a Brangus, a Brahma, and an Angus, and he is absolutely gorgeous. And I think he would bring a good price. Um, so I go and I come back, and I'm thinking they're going to have these two bulls loaded, and then we'll be ready to hit the road and go. And I go over there, and danged if the Holstein, the one that jumped the fence and went in my daughter's yard, he was in the trailer. And my husband says, "Oh yeah, we put hay in there and he just walked right in." It's like, go figure. So he was the one that we thought we weren't going to be able, and the other one, oh, he's wise to us now. And they don't go in there. So luckily there was a petition so we could lock the first one in. But no matter what we did, he would only get his head and his front legs in so he could reach for the hay. And when you would get ready to try to encourage him to go on, he backed up pretty quickly. They almost got stepped on a couple of times. So we got a different plan now. Hey, good morning, Annabeth. How are you? Nice to see you. You're not too late, girl. Um, I'm a day late. So talk about somebody being late. I really, I hope I'm not stepping on anyone's toes with the live streams. But just until we get these, Wednesday's the only day we can move the cows because that's the sale barn day and it's at noon. So you have to get a lot of stuff done before you can get them up there. So, like I said, those who know cows, they're only in the pasture because they want to be. If they want to be out of it, they'll find a way. And once they find the first way, then they'll keep doing it. That's what I hear. That was advice many years ago when we first got our first cows. My brother said, once they start jumping out and going to the neighbors and going to the road, he said, might as well give them a new address. He said, because they will every day they will get out because they can think about those nice, yummy oak leaves. Not like my yard doesn't have any in the pasture. They have plenty of leaves to eat, but they're not the same. They're not the same. And the grass is greener. It's because they don't trample it. So, yeah, so we still have one more cow to do next week. That's 3 trips up to the sale barn. It's like, and I won't even find out how much this one weighed because we didn't stay because we're trying to work on the house. Um, and it was his half day off that we had left. So we didn't stay to find out how much he weighed and what he went for. Last week's went for $1 a pound. and that may not sound like a lot, but he was pretty hefty. And some of the younger bulls actually go, some of them as high as $1.50 a pound. And it just depends on how good they look. And this one I have left he's a beautiful bull. He really is. I never thought that Brahma and Angus would be that pretty. And of course, we have the new baby calf that we rescued. She's eating really well. Her pink eye has cleared up. Um, hey, Butterfly Meadows, how's it going, Dorinda? Nice to see ya. Um, so yeah, that was our excitement for yesterday. Was trying to get the cows loaded and trying to get them up in the tail barn. And see, we borrowed the stock trailer from our neighbor. We don't own one, so we borrowed it from him. And I don't know, he's a little older than us, but he's had cows for many years, and he'll take 4 or 5 at a time. I don't know how he loads them by himself because it wasn't that easy for us, and there was 3 of us. So it just goes to show you we knew nothing about what we were doing. Nothing. Um, so see, it's already jumped up to 60 degrees. I'm shooting for 72 degrees is what they said we were going to get today. In order for me to go into the bees and make my I'm going to make a walkaway split. For those who don't know, um, what that is. It's my first time doing it, so I'm a little bit anxious about doing it right. But basically, you set up another hive, and you take out of the original hive colony, you take pollen, honey, and capped brood babies, uh, eggs. You make sure that it's a good start, and you move all of that over to the new deep brood box, and they actually make their own queen. So we're holding our breath because there's not any queens available. Hey, Prep for Eternity, good morning. How are you? Yes, we are going to get warm today, and then the storms roll through. Yes, Teresa, ours roll through tonight, even. So I have to do my split because my bees, if you saw the video that I put up last week, they're so full, but there's lots of baby bees. Oh, and nurse bees. You have to shake nurse bees over into your new box also because there has to be someone to take care of those babies when they hatch. Twin Brook Acres, hey, at work, so can't chat. I will let this run so you get the hours though. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Not everyone has a job where they can listen, put a earbud in or even turn something on. So that's nice when you do have that. Um, I listen to videos and such when I'm working outdoors, so um, I always give a thumbs up though when I first start listening so I don't forget, but I don't always leave a comment because once my hands gets dirty, it just makes it a little harder to do that. So I do try also to listen while I work. Dorinda says, I have a terrible signal. I'm in and out running errands, but I'm going to stay on. Just can't really hear the words. Oh, well, I appreciate you anyway. Um, if you catch words, we'll be happy. And if you have time to watch the replay and catch up, then that's fine too. But I do appreciate you having us on. And by the end of the year, I don't know. I've got 3,000 watch hours to go. How did I not get any more than that? Um, Probably because the first year they took all of those away. So I lost 1,000. But it is, and it'll get there one day. I'm good. Prep says, doing well. Oh, you're talking to Always. Yeah. After the storm rolls through, the temps are going to drop. Oh, are they really? Um, I think we have ours are actually going to be at nighttime temperature in the 40s and 50s. So ours is going to raise 20 degrees, um, which is still a little bit chilly for me to do any planting. Um, but I could get out there and clean my garden up. I haven't done it yet, but I could get out there and move stuff around. The tractor's fixed, and so I could do that. I need to this year I think I want to do some sprouting. I've done that for my chickens and rabbits before, but like with water and just hydroponic type thing with just, nothing fancy. But I did that, and the once a week I would switch it out and let the chickens have it. I had a screen, actually a screen in their pen, and it doesn't have to have sunlight. You can grow sprouts. I did oats and sunflower seeds and something else. I can't remember what it was. But they, as long as you put a little water on them every day, you can let them come up through the screen, and the chickens will eat what they can and they'll keep growing. But if you take the screen completely off, within 2 hours, it's bare ground. It's gone. But it's really good for them. Annabeth says we had a bad a frost last night. We're supposed to have 20-degree wind chills this weekend. Really? Yeah, not last night, but the night before last, we got down to 28, I think. So we had a pretty good frost. No burst pipes, so that was a plus because we had plenty of those when we had that really, really deep freeze. Um, so no burst pipes on that. Um, we did move the turkeys out though. We got them out of the heat, and they're really getting big. It, you may be able to hear in the background. I have poor hearing, but if you hear in the background that little cheeping sound, that's the turkeys. They make those sounds all day long, but they're like little cheepy things. And day before yesterday, there was a bird that flew. It was sitting on that building, and there was a bird, and it flew up into the tree. And I asked my son, I said, "Can you get a good look at that bird?" I said, "There's a really large bird up in that tree, and it came from over there by the turkeys." And he looked at it and he goes, "Oh my gosh." He said, "That's the biggest hawk I've ever seen." And it was one of those red-tailed hawks. And I just couldn't see that far. He's got better eyes than I do. So we scared it away, and it hadn't come back, but it will, I'm sure, when it's hungry again. So yeah, Old Way says 60s today and then 4 nights of freezing temps. Yeah, isn't that crazy? And then when summer hits us, it's going to be like here. This is springtime for us, really, even though we're not quite there date wise. Um, it is springtime. So, hey, did y'all know today is National Panda Day? Who makes those things up? I had no idea. I don't look at it every day. It just popped up on my computer when I opened it up. I thought, you're kidding me. National Panda Day? Is every day a holiday? Every day. It will be a cold and rainy St. Patrick's Day tomorrow. Yes, happy St. Patrick's Day to everybody. I see Teresa's got her little clover out. I did notice that. I was going to mention that, Teresa. Um, yes, I'll just have to get like a green stem or flower with a green on it and stick it to me, because everything that I have is green is sweaters, and tomorrow is supposed to be warm. So I don't think I can get away with it. When we worked and when I worked in an office, I always wore green. So it will be, oh, see, we have a red-tailed hawks everywhere, Annabeth says. Thank goodness they didn't get any of our chickens. Yeah, because if they wanted them, they'd figure out how to get them. That's for sure. Um, let's see. Yes, it is. There is a panda on the Google search bar. Oh, is there? I hadn't used Google today, so I didn't know that. It's just I opened up the computer and it popped up, and I that was the first thing I thought about. I've seen pandas in zoos, but I've never been really close to one. Um, let's see. That's one. Okay. Annabeth says, "Was wondering why that was there." Oh, see, we learned something today, Annabeth. It can still be educational, right? YouTube can be educational. And honestly, there's a TV in the camper, and I never turn it on. Pandas are my favorite animals. They are beautiful, aren't they? I've been doing diamond paintings, and I saw a panda in one of the canvases, and I thought, that is so pretty, you know, and it was nice, good size one. But I didn't order it. I was just looking through all the different things, and it just happened to pop up. So yeah. Um, but yeah, Annabeth, we have these red-tailed hawks. We have the owls at night, and they are huge. And they have been stalking my son's property because he raises quail, and they make those little quail sounds, and it just draws them. Definitely. Hey, Miss Southern Belle, good to see you. How are you doing up yonder? I would like to do diamond painting. Maybe you could do a little video on that one day. Actually, I have several videos on that, Annabeth, and it's on Little Wendy's Daydreaming. Um, I just uploaded another one yesterday, um, and shows you how to prep your canvas to get ready to actually start the painting part of it, which is applying your drills or your plastic beads, but they're called drills. So yes, I do have one. I have more than one actually. Um, Miss Southern Belle says, "How's your weather?" And Miss Southern Belle Chicken. Oh, the weather is beautiful. We're up to 60, waiting for it to get to 70 so I can work in the bees today. I don't want my baby bees to get cold. And Miss Southern Belle Chicken, um, she I put her in with a new fella, and she's very happy. So we're hoping that we'll have some more baby chickens out of her. She is a ferocious mother. Now I have one hen that is very much like Miss Southern Belle, and but she has less splotches and splash on her, and she's in my chicken house, which is for my fresh eggs. And she's sitting on those fresh eggs, and I went in there to take those eggs away from her because, they're not going to hatch. And she tore all over me. I mean, she puffed up and like a ball, and she was coming after me. She wanted me to leave those eggs alone. So I managed to catch her off the nest, and I replaced her eggs. I took the fresh eggs and I replaced them with some that will hatch. So I gave her some. Oh, she was ferocious. She was all over me. There is a bee farmer here in Georgia. Actually, there is. There's one called the Bugman, I think, and I love his channel. And he is in Georgia, and I think he's somewhere up McDonough or Ellijay or somewhere up in the mountains. Uh, but I have been watching him, and I we have a bee club um, that's about 30 minutes from us at Clarks Hill Lake, and the gardener has she's been working with us on making splits, and she actually talks to me on email also, so she has been a big help. I'm going to have to do it alone because there's nobody here. By the time someone gets here in the evening, the temperature's already dropped, so I'm going to have to do it alone. And those hives can be very, very heavy, so I have to be really smart about lifting them. um, and I'm not worried about the bees because I smoke them and calm them down, and they're good bees. I say that now and I'll get stung, but it's okay. I'll get over it. Um, but yes, there's several bee clubs. There's several bee guys that have channels, and they're very informative. Some are have been doing it, 10, 15 years. So there's a lot of information that is learned by just doing. And so yeah, it's nice to read it. And I've read it in a book, and I've had it explained to me in class. But until you go and do it, it's sometimes it's a little bit intimidating. So I'm going to do my best, and Right now, there my bee box is very it's very full. It's got lots of new babies being born. And last week when Kathy was here, we actually saw a couple of them actually breaking out and hatching, which I had never seen before. Hey, Windy Acres Farm. The bug farmer. Yes, that's him. That's him, the bug farmer. He's very good and he's easy to understand. So yeah. So we have to do it. I've taken one frame of honey out already because it was so full. Uh, with the bees and the honey. There's still plenty in there, believe me. So I might get a couple of pints of honey out of that one frame that I took out because it is so heavy. It's loaded. So I will take what I can out of it and then I'll put it back, leave some of the store in it, and they'll have more honey to build back out again. But bees are fascinating to me. I don't know why, but they are. When I was a little girl, and I say maybe 5, 4 or 5 maybe, um, I got stung by yellow jackets. I think they said there was 10 or 11 stings, and when they took me to the old doctor, back then it was the old family doctor, there was no specialties, and they took me and said, "Don't ever let her get stung by this many bees, um, again because it'll kill her," and I've never been stung by that many before. But and those were yellow jackets. These are honeybees. So there is a difference in the stings, I'm sure. Well, there is because I've been stung by both. So yeah, so I'm actually allergic to wasp and yellow jackets, but not the bees. They don't bother me. Uh let's see. Who did I miss? Did I miss anybody coming in? If I did, I'm sorry. I'm trying to catch you. Let's see. Yes, was watching very interesting video on making beehive out of an aquarium. Yeah. I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing what you can do um, to provide honeybees for your property. You are too, Miss Southern Belle. Annabeth says I have been stung a cow killer before and bumblebees. Oh yeah, bumblebees really hurt. My sister has been stung by a yellow jacket once. The cow killer, is that the one that's black with red on it that actually can kill the cows if they sting them? They're kind of vicious looking. I thought the honeybees were kind of cute, but yeah. So and then I have a neighbor who says there, he lives near an abandoned farm, and he said I guess he knew the family. Uh, both of them have passed away, and it has been abandoned at least a year. And he was he was able to get whatever he wanted to salvage from there. They said that he could have it because it's abandoned property, and the house isn't even worth living in now. But he said there's some honeybee boxes back there. He said if you want them, he said we can get them. He said because they're not being worked, and there may be honey in them, and there may be bees in them. It's happened before, but if they're not, then I can clean them up and get them sanitized and ready to use myself eventually. Yes, I will kill those velvet ants every time I see them. Yes, Teresa, they're wasp, really. They're just fuzzy. Actually, they're pretty. If someone saw them and didn't know what they were, they would think that how pretty they were because they're just a dark black with really bright red coloring, spots on them, and they really are quite unique. But the first time I saw them, I didn't know what they were, and um, I sent a picture to an entomologist up at University of Georgia, and he sent me the information back because I really didn't know. And he said they're vicious. He said they'll kill your cows. I can't stand horse flies. They bite good, I think. They have teeth. Yes, the cows have flies on them also, Miss Bell, and they are really small flies, and you wonder how such small fly can penetrate a cowhide. but they are awful, and if they get on you, they'll bite you too. Oh, they really do hurt, but they're really tiny little flies. They're not big ones. They're tiny ones. And so every time our cows would come up to the fence, we have a bottle of spray that we spray on their backs to help them. And they're constantly swishing their tails, and you're thinking those little flies can't hurt, but yeah, they've bitten me before, and they do hurt. I think they hurt worse than a bee sting. Um, and they make you swell up and all that. Feed feel ants. Oh, feed ant grits. Oh yeah, yeah, grits. That's right, because it puffs up and supposed to work. Now, fire ants is another thing in Georgia. So if you don't live in Georgia and you've never seen fire ant mounds, I mean, and they're vicious for animals also. They're just really awful. We don't kill the velvet ants. We usually just keep our distance. Yeah. If one is crawling on me, it's gone. I get him off. I don't smash him on me but usually if you see them, they're running. And but I've never actually seen them on an animal. Doesn't possum eat those nasty bugs? Actually, possums eat ticks. They will eat a couple of thousand ticks a day. And I don't know if we had a possum that came up on our porch one time because there was cat food out. The dog was laying right there a few feet away, and the possum was eating the cat food. And I noticed it had huge ticks all over it. And they say that their babies will hang on the mama's backs and they'll eat the ticks too, that it's food for them. Hey, David Carlisle, gasoline is good for fire ants. Don't light it. Oh, yeah. Well, you would think if somebody was putting gasoline on her, the first thing they'd want to do is light it, right? Throw a match on it. Yeah, I'm sure that somebody has done it. But yeah, gasoline. But we've gotten rid of most of our fire ant. There's still a couple out there because if you don't kill the queens, they just move. You know, you're just wasting your time because they just move. It's a myth about possums and ticks, really. Um, because I've seen the ticks all over the possums over here, and that's I just assumed. And when I was looking around about information on them, they said that's where they carry their babies is on their back. And I have seen babies on the possums' backs before. Uh, when we lived in Oklahoma, we saw a lot of possums. We didn't. We saw raccoons too, but we saw a lot of possums. Um, I step in fire ants' house. I have to run for the water hoses. Yes, and you can wash them off, but that sting stays a long time. A long time. Usually, I put my feet in a dish of apple cider vinegar, and I don't know why I ever did that, but it does work for me. It was a horrible experiment. Oh, it was? Uh, David says you can get fire ant bait from your county extension service for free. Can you really? Okay. I know somebody at the extension office. I'm going to ask. I didn't know that. Well, University of Georgia is very, how do I say it? Very supportive of all of the counties, and the other states probably have their extension services are that way also. But I only know about ours. Um, okay, thanks, Teresa. Um, that there's a lot, and they're full of knowledge too. If you have something you want to identify and you know, you don't have the means of doing the research or know how to do the research, they'll a lot of times whatever's growing in your area, you could just take it to them and they'll tell you immediately what it is. They've seen it. Miss Southern Belle said I looked like I had the chicken pops. Oh, the chicken pox. Yeah, because I mean it's just it's awful. Auburn is in Alabama. Yes. and we're in Georgia, and we go through the University of Georgia up in Athens. Hey Joan, how are you? I hadn't seen you in a minute. So good to see you. Um, so yeah, they're and I guess with spring coming on and we've had so much rain, I've seen some pastures that I mean are just solid ant hills. And there's a couple of horses down the road and they're I think they're being boarded. So they're right near the road and we can see them. But there's so many uh the ant mounds in there. I don't know how they even get around without getting in them. Maybe it doesn't bother the horses like I think it does, but I think anything steps in them, it's gonna crawl on you. Um, David says, "Is a good soul and a wonderful channel." Yes, his is. His is. Now, now anybody that has a wrench can drop links to others' channels. I don't mind that, y'all. So that we can go check out every thank you, so that we can go check out, usually Teresa and Annabeth is right on it. Also, they've been doing it, and sometimes sometimes I don't say thank you so much for all the work you do, and I noticed you're doing it, but like anything else, we get sidetracked. Field and Stream. Okay, good, Teresa. Y'all go check out that link there. Perfect. Perfect. Do y'all hear my turkeys? Can you hear them? It's almost like a song. Now I had to move them in the small run, and we have a PVC pipe that comes out of the run itself, and it goes into their feeder. And that's the way I feed them because if you go in, they peck at your feet and your hands, and uh, I don't know why, but only the turkeys, the chicks don't do that. Only the turkeys do that. Let's see. Miss Southern Belle says one time I took a fogger inside the anthill. Was it wild? Did it kill him, or did it just get you all messy? Totally forgot earlier that I could drop links and got busy. Oh no, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Um, yes, it's nice to support all of y'all that come in and I say this more than once. I don't take for granted that I'm still subscribed to you because many times I have gone over to a channel after I see you on here. It's like, you know what? I haven't seen anything pop up for them lately. And I go over there and I'm not subscribed anymore. So don't take it for granted just because you did subscribe to each other once that it's still there. I think YouTube has a way of playing games with us, and it's all part of their plan, even though we may not know what that plan is. Uh, so yeah, not used to being blue. Yeah, you got a wrench, girl. You can work. I always, I don't have a check mark by my name. I guess I don't really know what that's all about. I haven't really studied it, but some of them have a check mark beside their name, and I know there's a reason for that. I watched them run like they did me. Yeah, you just have to make sure they don't run your way for sure. I'm going to try to film me doing my walk away split today because I did have a hive that swarmed last year, so I lost that hive and I got a new queen. There was some bees left, and I got a new queen and installed a new queen, and that queen left and took the rest of the bees. So they just didn't like that hive, I guess. But so this time I'm going to try to force them. When I do this, this will make them grow their own queen. They'll lay the queen cells now. I didn't see queen cells that had anything in them the last time I was in there, but that could be changed because a queen will hatch in 16 days. And so within 5 or 6 weeks, she'll be already gone on her mating flight, and she comes back and she starts laying eggs. So within 6 weeks, you could start seeing where she is laying eggs. Um, but if there's too many, the strongest queen will kill the others. Let's see. David says check mark means verified. You have to go over 100,000 subscribers to get it now. Oh, geez, David, I won't. I don't think I'll ever get there. I won't ever have a check mark. And honestly, I don't know if I want to go over 100,000 because you lose you lose your closeness with your followers and friends on YouTube. Because face it, if you go into a live stream and there's 2,000 people in a live stream, you can't communicate with any of those people. It goes so fast. There is no way to answer any of those questions. Uh, unless you happen to pick out a name as it goes by. But usually those live streams aren't for answering questions because there's no way they can. So yeah, so I don't think I want to get that big. Is that not um I guess it's just foreseeing that I want to keep the friends that I have. And yeah, it's nice to have a few extra new friends. Um, yes, I know you can slow it down, but I was in one that moved so fast and they said it was on slow mode and it was still, but it was over 2,000 people in chat. And, you're just basically, you're talking to the people in chat. You're not able to really get into the conversation with the host because uh, you know that's just it's just not feasible. So it's not something that I really want to do. Yeah, I like small groups, and I've had 20 in the room before, and 20 listening and watching. Some just listen while they're working, and that's understandable. But no, I don't think I wanna get that big. My whole deal when I started the channel was to share some of the farm life of my rescue and what we're doing on the new farm. And of course, we were on lockdown, so we didn't have any outside communication with most people anyway. So that was really why I started the channel. I really didn't start it to raise money for the rescue. I used my own money. Um, so I really, wasn't doing it to draw in funds or anything. It was just, I wanted to share what was going on with the animals and thinking a lot of kids were home. So it is family friendly. Um, so we don't use any bad words and we don't have any drama. I can't do drama, guys. I know most of y'all, I know all of y'all feel that way too. So we're just sharing what we can. Uh, Teresa says most of the time the bigger channels don't care what you have to say. Well, and unfortunately, that's true uh, because for one, they come on and they have a set agenda what they're talking about, and it's not much different than doing a video for them, because they don't have any interaction with the video either. Now some of them accept donations, and some of them are there to get donations. That's not me. You know, that's not me. But I don't turn down a donation to help an animal. But I'm not there self, you know, uh, wanting somebody to promote myself. I'm not there for that. Sometimes the smaller channels like yours can be the best. Thank you. I feel that way too. There's a few of the channels that I watch that are bigger. But I don't know them like I know you guys. I've never had conversations with them, and they don't know me. And you know, I've only met one other person that had a channel, at my farm. Now I've met some in Kentucky. I've met quite a few in Kentucky when I went up there. Uh, See, what is a bigger channel than you? Yo, you're so sweet. Uh, I'm surprised that I've got how many have I got? 740 something. I don't know. I'm surprised I got that many. It's like I was just thinking, I might be lucky to get 100. So yeah, I'm really surprised. And now on my craft channel, I've got 400 and something. I don't even know the exact number. And I just wanted to share some of the crafts I do. That was it, you know. And a lot of people in the beginning didn't know that I was the same person on both channels. 50K and up is considered a large channel. Okay, that's a lot, Teresa. That's a lot. Um, that's a lot. But I'm good. I'm as big as I need to be and as big as I'm supposed to be, I guess. Um, I'm okay with small too. Yeah, then yeah, Miss Bell, that's for sure. But it just takes some of the personal stuff out of it. And oh yeah, sometimes we share more than we need to. And sometimes there's some channels that share way more than they need to. And they have a different plan in the end than we do. Um, but sharing a little bit about your life, yeah, I guess we'll be on the internet long after we're gone. But it's you know that's okay. I can, my grandkids and great grandkids and whoever comes after them. Sometimes it's a way to communicate with your family and friends that are far away. So I enjoy that too. Yes, when I say big, I mean big. Yeah, yeah, that's big. I've seen some of those, but it doesn't mean that some of the information they put on their channels is not interesting. So I will watch videos if I see something it pops up and it sounds it's like, you know what? I've been thinking about that, and I'll go and watch their video and give them a comment and try to be honest about um, viewing their channel. Um, and sometimes I view your channel on both of mine so that I can give you the extra time. So if your goals are, you know, getting extra watch hours, then at least I do try to, help there. So I will watch on both channels. Miss Bell says my sister doesn't watch me. She says that I'm not into your style. Is that right? Now, my sister is very supportive. So some of y'all know her, Gummy Doolittle. She's been on my channel before. She's very supportive, and she lives 2,000 miles away. We don't get to see each other if we're lucky once every couple of years. Um, but she's very supportive. As a matter of fact, she started her channel because she does RVing and traveling, and um, she has a special needs great grandchild that she takes care of. For those who don't know about her, um, and hers was to support me. And I said, well, why don't you show some of your videos where they travel and they go see places, and there's even some videos of them when they traveled out here of my farm on so she still had that video. Well, shoot, I have to erase that stuff off of my phone because it gets so clogged up. I don't have any space. Uh how is she doing? I haven't seen her comment in a while. She's at the doctor's office today. Seems like every Wednesday now for a month they've they've uh they've got her appointments. She has a lot of doctors she has to do because of her great grandson. And they've been to the allergist, and it's very difficult to do allergy testing on a nonverbal child. Um, I mean, she doesn't support me, my sister. Oh, Yeah, she has she actually I think she subscribed to you, Miss Bell. Um, and she just told me that she hadn't put up a video in 10 days. And I says, "Man, I can't believe that." Because she was doing little short videos. And so I got her to start doing the diamond painting in her downtime. She needed something just to kind of, you know, unwind for the day. So after everybody's gone to bed, a lot of times, because she can't do it while he's up, because it's a 24/7 keep your eyes on him child. So she can only do it when she has some downtime. Um, let's see. I'm using the microphone and it's a positive attitude. Oh, I've never done that. Use a microphone to text for you. I'd be afraid that it would text something because they have a mind of their own. Sometimes they replace words, and I'd be afraid they would replace something that I didn't want them to say. Because I know the texting does that. Next thing you know, you type something, and you go, "Oh my gosh, I did not say that. I didn't mean that." So yeah, you always read everything before you hit that button and send it, because you could be saying something off color and not be you. So yeah. But yeah, we have springtime is really hard for most of us because you've got so many new things going. If you garden, you're busy. If you have animals, you're busy repairing things they tore up in the wintertime. And of course, we're hatching chicks. I've hatched almost 300 chicks in the last month. So, so I'm just selling chicks this year. Anybody who wants layers will have to raise them. So I'm just doing the chicks. Yes, I learned quickly to check what I type before sending it. Yes. It's like I don't use language like some of that language that pops up. I don't use that kind of stuff. So, yeah, you just have to be real careful, that's for sure. Yes, they don't do well with Southernese. Oh, Teresa, that's a good way to put it. That sometimes I think we're too country in our slang because they really don't understand, and they'll ask you to repeat something, and it's like I just said it, you know, and they didn't understand it. I don't know why. So I've got my little gal that in the GPS and the maps, I've got her on British accent just because. And you think that we say things differently, they pronounce words differently. I won't say it's wrong, it's just different, and it's very interesting to me. But so yeah, my maps planner, she gets huffy too if you don't do what she wants. I have Surrey on British. Oh, you do too? Yeah. So I just find it now. If I could find one that had a Scottish brogue or something, I would really like that too. I think that would be interesting. I tell my friend from New York I'm on Southern time chill. They, they don't. Now I know a lot of people that have lived in New York, and I know some friends who live in New York now. Not all of them have a New York accent, which most of them don't think they have an accent. But me and my sister were raised uh, in Oklahoma, and then when we went to California as 13 and 15, and I still talked like a little Southern hick kid, and her language changed. She talks like a Southern California now. So her language actually changed, and so she doesn't talk near as Southern drawl as I do. What chicks am I hatching? I have Easter eggers, barred rocks, blue morans, uh, lavender Orpington, and just some barnyard mixes. So my barnyard mixes are like cinnamon queens and Rhode Island whites and um, black Australorp, and but I mix them with a different roosters, and they make really pretty chicks. So yeah. Let's see. Joan said I'm on Western time, British, uh, Canada, British Columbia. Oh, what time is it there? Let's see. It's 1:10 here. I don't know my standard times. I would love to have some lavender Orpington. Oh, they're really nice, Annabeth. They're very 10:10. Okay, Joan. Um, that's a big difference. 12:10. Oh yeah, you're in Alabama time, Annabeth. Yeah, you're an hour behind me. Um, yeah, so the lavender Orpington are really gentle birds. Um, I have one buff. The most of them are all the other buffs that I've lost through predators. But the lavenders, and at one time I wanted to get chocolate Orpingtons. They're so pretty, and lemon Orpingtons. They're beautiful, but I never did invest in, because in order to get a good stock, you need to get them from different places. Um, that's the way I've always felt. So I'll get them from different sources, so that the genetics aren't too close. David says, I sure don't know much about the different breeds of chickens. Oh, you know what, David? I didn't either, even though I was raised on a farm when I was a child. I really, I knew we had red ones and white ones and checkered ones. I didn't know what they were, but and Dominique is another heritage breed, which has been around many, many, many years, and very gentle birds also. So I'm just trying to get a good um, variety of chickens so that your yard looks nice. And some will lay eggs better than others. Some will lay larger eggs than others. Um, I've never done the bantams. I'd have a little bantam rooster out there that belongs to one of the grandchildren, and his little hen. She passed away a while back, but she was like 6 years old. But she laid up until shortly before she was gone. She laid little tiny eggs. They weren't much bigger than steely marbles. And I actually hatched some of her little chicks, and they were tiny little things. But yeah, and I think she was an English, old English breed. I think that's what they call them. The ones I love the most are black sex links and Issa Browns. Yes, I have some black sex links. Also out there. I don't have the roosters for the hens, so I can't have purebreds, but they make for really pretty yard birds. They do. And oh, Annabeth says I want to get Orpingtons, the lavender Orpingtons, Americana, another buff Orpington, and most of all the Easter eggers. Oh yeah, if I shipped if I shipped live birds, I could ship you some birds, but that's something that I've never done, is ship live birds. But my Easter eggers, I'll have to do a new video on it. They are so stinking cute. They almost look like little chipmunks. They're so cute. And they got the little beards, like um, the Easter eggers do, because they come from the Americanas, um, or Aracanas. They'll come from either one. Um, but they are really cute, and they do. They have lots of little color on them, and it makes for a nice yard. It does. And the lavenders are really sweet. They're very sweet. Um, I don't know about these turkeys that belong to my husband yet, but they're getting all their feathers. And you know what? I think all of them are white turkeys. Usually you get a mix and they send you all kinds of mixtures, but these look like they're going to all be white. So um, when they get big enough, we'll take them down to the auction and they'll sell them late summer, because we don't need 20 in the yard. We don't. We couldn't eat 20. Maybe one day I will get to come buy some chicks from you. That would be nice. Except we're a long ways off, Teresa. And I don't have a trip planned to Arkansas or Tennessee, where you're at. When we used to go to Little Rock, we used to go right through Memphis. Um, I know you don't live in Memphis, but yeah, turkeys are fun. And when I was doing genealogy, y'all, I did not know this for a long time, but I found a picture of my grandmother, my dad's mother, and she was standing in a yard full of white turkeys. I did not know that she raised turkeys, and she was a young woman, so she was probably, uh, my dad was probably just a young boy at the time, but she was raising white turkeys, and I know they did that for money back then because that's how they survive. If they need something, they sell an animal, they sell a calf or a cow or whatever. They live totally off grid, totally. Yum, Thanksgiving turkeys, David. Yeah, and farm raised turkeys are so much better. I know that these big farms that raise them to process them, they're raised very quickly, just like your hens that are raised very quickly. Within 8 weeks, they're slaughtered and processed. I guess I shouldn't use the word slaughtered. They're processed. Um, so yeah, I mean, so you don't want them so big they're tough either. I would love to have peacocks, but if they are $400 a piece, yes. And you know what? I had a local guy and his wife, they actually gave me some of the little English chickens for my grandchildren, and they had some peacocks, and they offered me peacocks, but we didn't have an aviary or anything to put them because I live too close to the road, and we didn't have anywhere to actually make them a home. And she had a couple that she wanted just one pair, and so she had all these extras, and she offered them for free, but I didn't have anywhere to put them, so I couldn't take a chance on them getting hurt. But yes, they're very expensive, and you know. Now quail, Annabeth, my son actually ships quail. He ships the hatching eggs. You can hatch your own. That's what he's doing right now. He's shipping hatching eggs because he's got now he sells the live quail, um, but usually he will deliver or meet somebody, or they'll actually, we had somebody drive down from Tennessee that had a like not a reservation, you know what I'm talking about, a preservation, a hunting club or something, and he bought a couple of thousand birds. So, and he come down here in a closed trailer because you don't ride through like the chicken trucks do with quail. But yes, so he will ship you some eggs. Um, because that's what he does. I just put 3 boxes in the UPS yesterday. He has shipped as far as England. It's a pretty neat thing to ship hatching eggs, and ours are the larger bobwhite quail. I say ours, they're his, they're not mine. I help him watch them. Yes, you live on the western outskirts of Memphis. Yes, I thought that's um, where you said you were at. Um, we want to get Idaho pasture pigs also. Oh, really? Um, Pigs, they say, are easy. If you have the right enclosures, they're easy. And a lot of them raise them in the woods. They set their pens up in the woods because they love the woods because they can root all over for mushrooms and what do you call those, truffles? Yeah. But all I have is three lazy pigs that are um, supposed to be potbelly pigs. Well, two of them are potbelly pigs. One of them's supposed to be a mini pig, but he's twice the size of the other two. So I don't know what they are. But, these aren't eating pigs. They're definitely not food. Um, but they're not bad pigs. They're not. Uh, that's a lot of birds. Yes. He has two 100-foot fly pens. So he exercises his birds, and he's had uh I don't know how many he's had. Usually when he hatches about 500 birds at a time. and they hatch like 16 days. It's really quick. So, and little baby quail, they're so cute, but they grow up really fast, really fast. You want to raise them for meat. Yeah, and these birds are good for meat, Annabeth, because they're nice size. They're not the little small delicate ones. These are hunting type birds. These are very good. Um I don't have his link to his um if you have an email address on your about page, I'll go find it and send you his he's got a little website that he runs himself, and that's where he takes his orders. And I'll send that link to you so that you can at least go and check it out and see what he has. He raises myotonic fainting goats and quail. That's what he raises, and I raise everything else. Everything. You want a mini pig? Um, yeah, you just have to be careful about what their definition of a mini pig is. Hector, if you've seen any of my videos, there's a playlist of pigs, and you can get an idea of the three pigs I have. Hector is enormous. He probably weighs 150 pounds. He's the size of a human. And the person I got him from says he weighed, she said, "Oh, I think he weighs about 50 pounds." And we went after him. We took a dog box to put him in, and it was barely big enough to put him in. And he's grown twice that size since we got him. He does eat good. He lives with the goats. He's okay. He's not a bad pig, but the hogs that you raise for meat are much different. Pasture pigs. So yeah. Well, gosh, it's almost an hour and a half, and I know that's not a long time for a lot of you, but I appreciate you all staying with me. I need to go. Let's see. It's still 60 degrees. I was hoping it'd get a little warmer. It's supposed to be by 3 o'clock. It's supposed to be up high enough that I can do my bee split. So I'm going to let you guys all get off. I appreciate you all coming and coming back. And if I missed any of you, I want to say I'm sorry. Thank you. And you all have a blessed day too. And we'll hopefully, I won't be able to do it again on Wednesday because we're going to the auction one more time. So it'll probably be Thursday again. But I will, thanks, David. Bye. I will be putting I'll be putting a little notice up uh when it'll come. I'll schedule it so that you can see it. It'll pop up. But y'all all have a good rest of the week, and hopefully it'll warm up for you and you can start working in your gardens and your yards, and doing what you need to do outdoors now that it's getting a little bit better. Um, thank you so much. Oh, well, I appreciate you all. Annabeth, you're just so sweet. And I will. If your email is on there, I'll send you that link so you can take a look. Um, I don't have a website, but he does. Um, but we can send you some hatching eggs. You can hatch them out. They hatch out quickly. You can you can hatch them out and have your own quail, and save on shipping. I I don't know if he's ever shipped any live birds. He delivers live birds. So we can get together when you're ready to do that. He's been doing that for several years now. So he's not going to go anywhere. My dad's channel has an email, Prep for Eternity Homestead. Okay, that's where I'll send it. I'll send it. I was on his channel yesterday looking around. Um so yeah, but y'all have a rest of the week and do something fun outside while you have a chance. Got to find my button. Bye now.